Hello, I'm Tanya, a scientist who turned a spiritual explorer, and I'm here to share my journey with you. Last year, Kundalini Awakening came into my life, or Holy Spirit, because I was trying to heal myself physically. Only until recently, I understood what actually happened to me. So I would like to take you on my journey of healing physically, emotionally, and connect with like-minded individuals who might be also going through the same thing. As a nerd by nature, I started studying what was happening to me and also delved into spiritual science. I hope by listening to this podcast, you will gain some perspective and it will also help you on your journey. Hello, everyone, and welcome to my first podcast of Modern Spirituality with Tanya. I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart to listening to my podcast, and I truly believe that if you came here to listen to this podcast today, that means whatever I'm doing is helping the people's helping the world, especially during the time of the ascension. Today, I would like to talk about the physical symptoms that are saying that you have Kundalini Awakening and you might be going through Kundalini Awakening. So let's dive in and let's no longer wait. So, number one is the energy vortex. I call it the energy vortex because that's the first thing that I actually started to experience during my meditation practice last year. And I didn't understand what was it and why was it happening to me, but especially I started to feel it from the kind of like a chest area up to my crown chakra area above the head. And it was a pretty strong vortex. And I remember a couple of times during meditations, my head will recline, like somebody will push it all the way so strongly that I couldn't even get up. I was trying to get up, but then it felt like somebody was pushing me down. So I was just surrendering during those moments. Number two is electrical and acidic kind of like sensations on the body, maybe a little bit of burning sensations, but they're not painful, or at least they don't feel like that to me at all. And right now I'm enjoying it. So what I understand, this is called white fire of Kundalini, just burning all of the impurities. So far, I enjoy it because each time when I feel them, even right now, I'm recording this podcast, I feel them on my face and my skull, random places. It reminds me that divine energy is within me and I'm healing. So I'm feeling very blessed and grateful for this gift. And regarding those sensations, they come into my body, as I mentioned, randomly. But most of the time, for me specifically, it will be around my head area, my scalp, ears, my eyes, my face, but also throughout my whole body, it will be just randomly. And so far, I feel like I already got used to it. It became a everyday life experience. So it will be my feet, my hands, legs, arms, armpits, and etc. All random sensations. Number three is the cold sensations on my body. I know that some people are experiencing heat sensations. So for me, it's cold sensations, energy waveforms that come to me, especially during the meditations. I started to experience a lot of them last year when I was meditating, and back at that time I didn't know what was that. So now I understand it's not just another symptom of Kundalini awakening. Number four, energy pulsations, especially around my head. So I know that's where the energy gets too much in the head, and the third eye will be pulsating a lot. So that's the time when I feel like my inner voice is saying me that I need to ground. I try to ground myself either through doing grounding yoga, either being bare feet on the ground or going to nature or eating. Actually, food helped me a lot to ground. So I eat meat sometimes or fish. I didn't exclude that from my diet, though for some time I was vegan or vegetarian. Also include nuts, especially pumpkin seeds. I believe those kind of seeds and other types of food that is normally grounding, like beets or potatoes, they really help my psyche not to go crazy. Five, what happened to me one time that I passed out during Dr. Joe breathwork, and I specifically practice Dr. Joe Dispenza breathwork. I believe that's how my Kundalini actually got awakened. So one time, January this year, actually, I was sitting and doing the breath work. I realized that the headset that I had on me was off, and I was trying to open my eyes, but my whole body was vibrating and shaking. I had a loud noise, disrupted noise in my ears. What I was hearing, that was Dr. Joe Dispenza saying something, but I just couldn't understand anything. It was just very disrupted noise. And also I had some kind of vision, it's hard to describe what it was. It's kind of like lines, like white lines or something. So for me, I I remember I got very scared at that time. And what started to happen after is that instead of just blacking out, I will get a lot of energy into my head during the breath work. But it doesn't happen all the time. It's just, it happens to time and I have no control over it whatsoever. It just happens whenever it wants to. So I have no say on when it can come and etc. And I know if you're a follower of Dr. Joe Dispenza, he talks a lot about brain orgasms or feeling bliss. So far, that didn't happen to me. I believe it is a process, and I believe the energy, the Kundalini energy, knows how to work through. And if it's meant to be, it's going to happen. So don't force it. Number 6, it's feeling a lot of feet and hand energy pulsating around those areas. Sometimes I will feel a lot of heat sensations coming into my feet. So during my meditations, I prefer to lie down. Sometimes I get cold or chilly, and I really enjoy when this kind of warm waves will come and give the sensations to my hands and to my feet. Number 7 is seeing light flashes. I started seeing them somewhat last year, and I didn't understand what was that. So I will see blue lights, I will see kind of like bright lights and etc. And then I will open my eyes, so I will take off the eye mask and I will see nothing in the room. Some light flashes with Reiki session, or during the nighttime. Sometimes when I'm just going to sleep, I see some light flashes. I believe those are the light flashes that I see through my mind's eye. Number eight is actually feeling chakras rotating and vibrating in my body. So for example, during sometimes like yoga, or even when I sit down, I will feel the energy rotation in specific chakras. I believe it depends which chakra works or wants to work the best that day. Number 9, for ladies especially, your menstrual cycle might be disrupted for some time, especially in the beginning. So that's what actually happened to me. And I associated it in the beginning with the detox that I was going through. However, my menstrual cycle got disrupted for 3 months, and those were exactly the 3 months that the symptoms started to appear. I just, back at that time, I didn't know that it was Kundalini. I didn't know anything about Kundalini Awakening. And coincidentally, at that time, my period actually had stopped, but then it just returned after 3 months. So if you're going through the same thing, don't worry, it's gonna stabilize. Number 10 is twitches, random twitches on your feet or on the fingers of your hands, and then on your feet. I will feel a lot of them, even right now, especially during meditation when I'm relaxed. And I also noticed some kind of twitches of my body when I lay down. I believe there will be like some energy relief. Number 11 is random movement of energy when you don't expect it. For example, for me, it will be during yoga or qigong. I will just be like going right up to my brain with no warning. And I will think that I will lose my consciousness and a blackout, but it's not happening to me. It actually becomes somewhat soothing. It's kind of, for me, Kundalini saying like, hey, I'm here, I'm working on you, I'm here, don't worry. So I enjoy those moments when the energy comes out of nowhere like this. So I surrender to it, and I let it happen. Number 12, sometimes I've noticed that, especially when I sit down, I feel kind of heating, somewhat maybe electrical energy flow on the back of my backbone. I would feel those things, and I know that, again, this is just the energy moving and maybe clearing something over there. Number 13, my diet has changed drastically. I'm enjoying a lot of spicy food, a lot of Indian food, South Indian food, dosas, you name it. And if before, trust me, I wouldn't be able to touch it, I wouldn't be able to eat it. I really watch my diet, and I eat a lot of healthy food. I buy only organic, and I eat a lot of veggies and fruits. Obviously, I'm not smoking, I don't use any drugs, and no alcohol, but that actually have been in my life already 2 years. I strongly advise not to take any substance when you're going through it, even though I know it can feel challenging. Hello, everyone. So, actually, I know there have been some time in between the first time when I recorded this podcast video and then right now. And the reason why there's so many symptoms are coming up, I will say like sometimes every day or every week, but I'm trying to pick the major ones. And I want to share also as an add on to this podcast, number 14. So number 14 has been very personal for me, and have been thinking, should I share it or should I not? But since I'm going all in and I'm being very authentic, so I'm going to share it with you today. So number 14 are their ear sensations. So ear sensations for me started happening somewhere last year, and pretty much around the time when actually Kundalini got activated. So I felt a lot of kind of like air sensation flowing in both ears. Sometimes also not the air, but the energy. Sometimes it's different pressures around the ears. Also sounds, frequencies. I remember like many times at night I will wake up because I will hear like a high pitch. It will be like inside of my head. I will be like, and I will freak out. I will be scared, like what is actually going on? But then it will just like fade out. By now I already understand that it was Kundalini, but before nobody could explain it to me what it was. So the other interesting part that actually started happening to me is that I went to cranial sacral therapy. However, the person who has been doing it for me, she told me that I have huge ear chakras. And the reason maybe why I don't hear anything, well, you're not supposed to hear something, but you're supposed to kind of have this voice inside of you that you understand that this is like the higher knowledge. So the reason why I haven't had an access to it yet, maybe, I don't know yet, is because of the fear. Maybe it's because of all of those things that have happened to me in a short amount of time are causing that fear of the unknown, fear of the spiritual world, which I was really resisting to. So yeah, but that's a story for another podcast. So anyway, ear sensations, also another thing that sometimes I will wake up to kind of like start happening recently, some buzzing, like a bee buzzing in my ear. It will be like very loud. And some other unexplainable noises, honestly. It will just like go on and off. But I have been reading that ear sensation is pretty common, especially with the Kundalini Awakening. So that's about it. That's for this podcast. And again, thank you very much for hearing me out today, for being with me today. I really hope that it will help someone. And honestly, if it helps at least one person in this world that is hearing this podcast, it will make me very happy. I will be sharing more of my journey. It just started. My soul is really asking me to express myself, to share this message with you. It has been resistance from me for 6 months. I have been resisting to create this podcast, but it is happening. Again, thank you so much. I'm going to leave my social media accounts links below and email as well. Please reach out to me if you have any questions, or you're going through the same thing, or if you just want to share something. So thank you for being with me. Modern Spirituality with Tanya. I'm signing off. Bye.